All right, foundation video, A to Z, and every variable that can come in between. And I'm kind of rigging up my phone because my daughter has my real camera in Australia. Just do what you got to do. Okay, so I want to talk about foundation because I get a lot of questions about what do I do, how do I use it. There's a lot of different things, and yes, there are. So this is not going to be a quick video. We're going to kind of go over a little bit of everything, and I'm putting my light on and off just for a little effect. Okay, so no matter what I do, I'm going to tell you that I start off with rose water. I go in and I spray my face with rose water, kind of rub it in. I've talked about this before. I love rose water. Did I ever think I would? No. I laughed at it, and guess what? I love it. Me and about everyone else who uses it is like, I cannot even believe that I love this stuff, but I do. So my second step is always Glorious Primer. Little squirt, maybe like a little bit like that. Then I take it and I am going to put it kind of all over. On my eyes, kind of all over my face. Now, I do not use moisturizer on my face in the morning. I'm going to tell you why. A lot of people might. If you have dry skin, you may want to. I don't because I think that if I use the BB cream is already a tinted moisturizer. So I feel like that's a lot of moisturizer to be putting on my face if I'm using a tinted moisturizer and a moisturizer. And also our cream foundation is very creamy. So I just I don't like oily skin. I don't want to feel like my skin's oily, so I don't use it. So my next step, no matter what I'm ever doing, no matter what, I'm always going to do the primal pencil trick. Always. So right here, what I'm going to do is actually, you know what's really funny is that's not primal. That would be Posh. So that would be my first little mess up of the day. Let's go back in here and get primal, which is red. I'm unpacking from the beach and doing a video, and it's all kind of funny. So I'm going to take the primal pencil, and I kind of come right here, and I'm going to go along my eye. One of the reasons I always do this, no matter what, is because my under eye has always kind of been an area for me that has bothered me. I never could find concealer that would help or whatever, so when I found this trick, no matter what I'm doing to my face that day, I always use it. So first of all, I always use the blending buds. Blending buds come in two sizes, the larger one and the smaller one. I tend to use the smaller one more because I think that I can really get where I need to get with it. What I do is I wet them a little bit so they're damp, and I wring them out so they're just a little bit damp right now. No matter what you use, if you use another foundation, not ours, you're not using Younique yet, heard that? You can use it with this. A lot of people have bought these and just want to try them. So what I do is I'm going to take, I am a neutral. My skin does not really have red or yellow in it. It's very neutral, so I use taffeta. So I'm going to use our cream foundation, and I just take the blending bud and kind of put it in here like this, get it, and then I am just going to dab it into my skin. And I am just going to cover the red right there, which if this is the first time you're seeing it and you're going, why in the heck does she have red underneath her eyes? The red is going to help with the blueness of the dark. It's on the opposite sides of a color wheel, so it's going to help to get rid of the red helps to get rid of the dark when you're covering it up. I just kind of pat it in like this until it's all covered. Now, again, that's just something that I love to do no matter what. I think that this helps so much. So no matter what else I'm going to do, I'm always going to do that. The other reason why I use this as concealer, our cream foundation, is because it's very moisturizing. Another issue I've always had is with any kind of concealer, if it was, sometimes it was just too dry under my eyes, and at the end of the day it would be dry and you can really see the lines. I hated that. and had a hard time finding something that was moisturizing enough. So I love this. So that's it. That's all I would do there. Now, when it comes to foundation, I could do a lot of things. I can pick. I could use the BB cream. I could use the cream foundation, or I've used Glorious already. I could use just the powder foundation. So yesterday, because I was at the beach, I very simply used the powder foundation. It's very light, and I could just kind of go over, what I already have on. You can see I have some redness right there. And I'm just going to use the powder foundation. And there you go. Look at that already covering it up. Now, that was great for me yesterday because I knew I was going to the beach. I was going to be hot and sweaty, and I just didn't want, I wanted to make sure it was very light. Now, yes, this is a lot lighter than my neck is right now. So what would I do after that? I would use the bronzer. I don't think, my opinion, yes, I want you to spend money on makeup, but I am going to be the first to tell you not to spend a lot of money on something you don't need. So what I say in the summer is use a bronzer. So if I wanted to darken this up, I would take my bronzer, put my brush in it, and just kind of darken that up. So what did that just do? Gave me a little bit of a sun-kissed look. That's all I did yesterday. I put on a little bit of blush, did my eyes with the cream shadow, and that was it. That's all I had to do. Now, if I want to do something, a little bit different, and I want to use a lot more coverage, I'm going to tell you that I love the BB cream. Love it. And I would take a little of the BB cream. A lot of times I'll just put it right here on the end of the blending bud, or on, a lot of times I'll do it on my hand like this, kind of put it in like this. And what you're going to do is you're going to take that BB cream with this, and you're just going to stipple it in. Just pat it in. Okay, I'm going to show you like on my nose how it's red. That BB cream is very moisturizing. It's just going to go right into your skin. And you're going to cover whatever you need. So again, I'm just going to take however much I want. To me, that's enough coverage, but if somebody, really wants more, I just take the BB cream and I'll just keep going in as much as I want. And then what do? So I've got coverage right there. Before I do that, I want to show you something. Show you a little bit. I'm going to do my forehead with the cream foundation just to kind of show you. So right here, I did nothing but just Glorious and the powder with a little bit of bronzer. Right here, I'm going to do the BB cream. So on my forehead, I'm going to take the end of the little blending bud, put it in my cream foundation, and I'm going to do the same thing. Now, you're going to be able to see, I hope you can see, that this is going to be a heavier coverage. And you can already see that it's a lot heavier. But I do like that coverage sometimes. Sometimes I want a heavier coverage. So my point is, I just did all three faces of my, places on my face with something different. And what am I going to do? The last step, no matter what I do, is the powder foundation. Why? We have concealer powders, and some people like to use it. I don't. I like this powder foundation, has great coverage. I think no matter what you're doing as a base, if anything, it's fabulous. It covers, it gives you amazing coverage. It's very light, and I love it. So again, up here, I've got more coverage, but I'm going to do the same thing. Just going to cover it with the powder. Same thing on the side. It's a habit to always powder over there. So there you go. I've got coverage there, I've got heavier coverage there, and I've got light coverage there. But either way, it's got good coverage. Whatever I like to use, it's just what you like to feel. I think that they all have a different feel. My favorite is probably just the Glorious and the powder foundation, or the BB cream. I really do like the feel of the BB cream, and I just put it on very lightly. That's it. So here's the thing I'm going to say at the end. With this, you're going to take your bronzer no matter what. I tell people all the time. Personally, people say, well, I think I need a darker foundation for the summer. If you want to get a darker foundation, I will sell it to you all day long. But I think bronzer is amazing. I think you take a little bit of bronzer. You're going to go around your face right here, down, across your cheek. And you're just going to have a little sun-kissed glow. And that, you can go down your neck. And after you get all your coloring on, now I've got a light right on my face to show you lighting. So, I mean, you're going to, it's probably going to look a little lighter. But you can keep darkening however you want to make yourself darker with this bronzer. I think it's amazing. That's what I do. Now, one thing I want to talk about this is something that I do. And every time I do it, and when we're doing a makeover, my girls kind of laugh at me because they're like, what on earth? I've never seen anybody do this, but I do it and I love it. A lot of people ask me about concealer. Okay, when I conceal under my eyes, I'm using the same color that I do on my face. I use my taffeta. But when I want a little bit of highlighting under there, after I've finished my eyes and everything, my face can be kind of already done, maybe before my bronzer. I'm going to take this little part of my blending bud and I'm going to take the cream color BB cream. It is the lightest BB cream that we have. In cream right here. So it's very, very light. And I take it and I go right under my eyes. Now, if I had on eye makeup, yes, I would just do it right under my eye makeup right here. Just get as close as I can. It kind of cleans up after underneath your eye. And what else does it do? It just gives you that little bit of highlighting. And that's it. I love doing that trick. I think it totally brightens up your face. And again, a lot of people use powder as highlighter. I know my mom uses one of the lightest concealer powders. I don't use the concealer powders. I don't like powder underneath my eyes because I think that right now I have no lines under my eyes. The minute I put some kind of powder really heavy under there, it gets all messed up and I just don't like the way it looks. So that's it. That's my little trick for highlighting. Again, these BB creams, this will last you forever. I've had this cream one for almost a year and I still have plenty in here. So the other thing, one last thing I want to talk about the blending buds. You can also, if you don't want to use and I've done this in a video before, if you don't want to use a powder brush and you don't want that powdery look, you can also take the blending bud and do your powder with it. I mean, these things are great. You can use them for anything. So you can take it and just use your powder with this. There you go. So you can use these for anything. Now, one other question I had, and that is something that, about a lot of times, and this has happened to me before. When you use powder and you use a lot of things, sometimes, especially in the places right here where you end up putting a lot of product, it'll end up, you kind of see it just kind of gets really built up and it's just too much. And sometimes that's what a dark spot or something coming through, like it'll just look like it's discolored or whatever. That's because you have too much product in that spot. So what I try to do when I am doing my powder and stuff in that spot is just do it very lightly there because I know I'm going to come back with a little bit of, your blush is going to be here and you're going to come back with your bronzer. You don't want too much product built up there. So when I'm putting my foundation, I try to not put a lot there because that spot to me is a spot that you're constantly wiping with product and sometimes it just builds up there. I mean, there have been times when I've had to kind of wipe it and then kind of, redo it just so it doesn't look that way. So if you have a buildup, sometimes you'll really be able to see it. It'll look like dark spots or something. It's just too much product in that spot. So again, that's it, guys. I mean, like I said, take this, kind of go over it. Got your bronzer? I mean, no matter how you look at it, I've got coverage on my face. It just depends on what you want and what look you think looks best. I mean, take your pick. Cream, strictly powder and glorious, or BB cream. I tend to really like the BB cream. I think that it's a more moisturized look, the BB cream with the powder foundation over it. But again, I use them all It just depends on my mood for the day. I hope that helped. If you have any questions, please message me. I would be happy to answer anything you have and, try to help you. Always remember, use the undertone chart when you're picking out your foundation. If you don't have it, I'll send it to you. That makes a huge difference, whether you're cool, warm, or neutral. And from there, we can pick what you need to be and get you looking beautiful. Have a good night. Thanks.